Aren't you tired of clicking on videos, trying to figure out how to start a business or make money online or figure out what works, and then finding out that the video you clicked on is bullshit and the moron that made the video then tries to sell you something at the end? I was in this exact position before, bro, on YouTube, and smashed multiple laptops after being clickbaited by endless dumbasses. So because I hated that, I'm just gonna tell you exactly what I would do if I was back in this position and I was trying to make money online or whatever you wanna call it, start a business, whatever. Because that's why you're on YouTube right now. You're trying to figure that stuff out and you're just looking for information on what to do next or how to start or whatever. So if your goal is to just make money, which is what most people's goal is, instead of starting a business or trying to figure out any of those opportunities, you should just start in sales and sell for one of these already successful businesses. Way more people are likely to succeed at high ticket sales or whatever you want to call it, than they are at starting an online business. And I'm going to tell you why. Number one is just the barrier to entry is extremely low to getting into this. At the easiest level, you can come in as an appointment setter and you can handle a business's messages. You could do dials for them to their leads, and you can make 4 to 8K a month. Anyone that's not a complete idiot can do this. Business owners need that done for them so that there's demand for it, and they will hire someone who has no experience to do that because it's really not that difficult. You're not handling any major responsibilities that you could mess up and cause major problems, right? So you just need to get people to schedule sales calls, and that's it. That's the main function of that role. And even with closing, you don't need experience to get good closer roles. This is another myth. There are lots of people who come into this with no sales experience and they land good closer roles all the time. And you're not going to find that near as often in any other sales role. In high ticket, your resume, I guess, is not as important as, it's just more about you. The resume is not as important. This isn't like some corporate role. It's does the interview go well? Do you fit what the business owner is looking for? How good does the call go? Things like this. And where else can you interview for a role that in just a few months can potentially have you making over 6 figures a year from home? I don't know of anything else where you could do that. The number 2 reason is you can make good money right away. So point 1 leads into point 2. And I would say this is the main reason this is appealing for most people, especially these days. I don't follow politics or the news because I'm not a dumbass, but people say it's getting harder to make good money these days in general. That's not true, but whatever. So finding something like high ticket sales where you can make a really good income very quickly and you only need to learn one skill, sales, that's going to be appealing to lots of people. The longer it takes for you to get to making good money in something, the less likely someone is to do it. And also stick with the work to get it to the point where they're making lots of money, right? Perfect example is starting an online business. All these online business models work and you can make tons of money doing any of them, but getting them started is always going to take more time and work than you think it's going to. So when some guru on your feed tells you, oh wow, look at this shiny online business, you can make all this money from home, bro, 30 days from now, bro, it'll be working. It's so easy. It's not easy. They're lying to you. It's gonna take 10 times longer than that. Most people who try internet businesses or whatever fail because they can't work on something every single day for months and months without seeing any results. So they just give up. That's 99% of people who try to start any business or high ticket sales really. Which leads to the number 3 reason, pretty much any make money thing you see on YouTube is going to involve starting a business. It's basically all of them except this. With high ticket sales, you can just sell for an already successful business and that's all you have to do. But most people won't even try to do this. So even though this is appealing, and it sounds really great, why don't more people do it? In my opinion, it's because the internet psyops you into thinking that tons of people are doing this or that it's a scam or whatever, but they really aren't. Most people are not even trying to do this. And you aren't able to see all of the internet businesses, thousands of them out there who need good salespeople. I saw some rough statistic that like $90 billion or something was spent on online education alone in 2025. And in 5 years, it's supposed to be like 150 billion spent a year. That's crazy. That's a shitload of money. And where's all that money going? To internet businesses. And you think it's too saturated to be a salesperson for one of these online businesses? Come on. This high ticket closer stuff is just getting started. You are very early. But what people do is they see something all over the internet, right? And then they watch that content and their algorithm shows them more of that content. And so every day they're seeing more and more of this content and they think, well, all the time I see all these people that are doing high ticket sales, hundreds and thousands of people, whatever, liked this video on high ticket sales. So all of these people must be doing this. It seems so overcrowded. How can I get into this? I have no experience. I don't know what to do, right? But all this is just not the case. Most people, the vast majority of them that watch content are never going to actually do anything. They're not even going to take one step. It's just entertainment for them, right? 99% of the people those people will never actually try to get a high ticket sales job or participate in this market at all. You know how many DMs I've gotten over the years from, like, thousands, bro, probably, if I counted them up at this point, because I've been doing this for years. You know how many DMs I've gotten from people who are like, oh, I want to get into this, but I don't know what to do, or I'm having trouble getting into this. And I'm like, okay, so what have you done? Have you been on interviews? And they're like, oh, I don't know what to do. And I'm like, wait, so you're saying, you're telling me you're having trouble getting into this, but you haven't done anything? They're like, well, I've been watching some YouTube. Like, to the average dude, watching YouTube is doing something. Research is not doing something. But like, my point is 99% of the DMs I get, they haven't done anything. So they're not your competition because they're not going on these interviews. They're not outreaching to businesses. They're not applying to businesses. Like, there's no one is doing anything. It's like, in your mind, you imagine that the highway is filled with traffic and there's just all these cars and you're like, oh, it's gonna take me so long. It's deadlock traffic. There's thousands of cars on the road, when in reality, if you walked out your front door, you'd be like, oh, there's no one's on the highway. It's just wide the fuck open for you to drive down. When you turn off the YouTube video, walk out the door and get in the car and start driving. Like, that's the actual reality. All of these business owners have trouble finding good salespeople. Why else would I be doing this business? For fun? To waste my time? Do I seem like that type of person that would waste my time on something that wouldn't give me a return? Come on. Now, who should not be doing this? People who are not willing to deal with a potential few months of up and down pay, or making a slightly lesser amount to get to the bigger numbers each month. So what does that mean? This is all of sales, by the way. When you first start a role, you might make 4K in the first month or two. Then after a few months, you can get to 10K. That's normal. So many times people see high ticket sales content, they just see the numbers. They're like, oh, I can make 10 to 20K a month from home to talk to people on Zoom. And while that can be true, you're not going to do that like 2 weeks from now. Sure, in some rare cases, but like, you shouldn't expect that 14 days from now, you're gonna be doing that. Some wild numbers. You will have to get into a good role for sometimes a couple of months before you're hitting those bigger numbers consistently. So if you hear that and you think, oh, that's too much work for me, it's gonna take longer than 2 weeks, this is not for you, obviously. This is sales, by the way. 1 month you might make 9K, the next month you might make 6K. And this is also like a huge problem, I feel like, these days, just because I see it on social media or the internet with people in general, is the common like vibe is that putting in any kind of effort to make money or get anything cool in life that people want is seen as a bad thing. Like having to work really hard to get anything means like people just start complaining. And what I mean is, like, if you watch what the average guy says on social media, it's these types of things like, Oh, everything's harder these days. It's not the same as it used to be. It's not fair anymore. Why doesn't money and an amazing life just fall from the starry night into my lap? Because I'm a good guy. I'm a good guy. You know, it used to be so much easier to get these things. These things are massive delusions and total bullshit that you have been fed by your algorithm. You realize your phone is just a propaganda machine that you're consuming thousands of pieces of that propaganda every single day. You don't think you're brainwashed? You're completely brainwashed. None of that is true. It's always been like this. When in history have men been able to not work hard and just get like women, money, success, power, status without having to do anything and just sit on the couch and complain and cry like a little bitch? Because that's what dudes do these days. Like, you know what I'm saying? When in history has that happened? You think some dude in the medieval times that had to shit in a bucket just woke up and was like, it's so easy these days. Women and money just fell from the sky. No, he was shitting in a bucket. He didn't have any of the opportunities that you have today. It's never been easier today because you have access to all the information, for one, which no one has ever had, and you literally have a money printing device in your pocket with your cell phone. If you can't figure out how to succeed with the most insane, advantageous time in history, that is a you problem. You've been brainwashed. So, good high-ticket sales roles are not hard to find. And if you are willing to do just a little bit of work, you can easily do this, bro. This is literally just sales. This is just right in front of you, behind you, making different choices every day and just putting in the effort. That's the punchline. Now, to end, why do I believe that most people could do this if they just try? Because this is just a skill. Like, at its core, that's all it is. And you can learn any skill through trying and doing it and repetitions. There are millions of people doing sales. Why can't you do it? It's not like this is quantum physics. You're just talking to people who are already interested in buying what you're selling. Warm inbound leads that you close. Like, if you can't do that, if you can't sell things to people that already want to buy them, and you can't continually put in the effort every day to find the good role eventually, if you can't do those things, you're definitely not going to be able to do any of these other make money online things or any type of business, because those are all going to be way more work and require way more tasks. So if you're just a normal, competent person that is successful at a normal job or whatever, you can do this. And if for some reason you don't like it, then just go back to a normal job, you know? It's not like it's medieval times and if you mess up, they're gonna put you in the guillotine or something. But what this really comes down to is like, how bad do you wanna make money and get out of your current situation? That is the real question that's going to determine what you end up doing. For me, I would have climbed over 10 Mount Everests to get to making real money to do whatever I wanted. I just wanted freedom. So like everything in life, your success and your results comes down to you. If you want something bad enough, you're going to figure out a way to get it. That's the end of the video. If you want my help getting a closer role or a setter role, links in the description. Until next time.